with marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com, and it's about 10 minutes of 11 on the 10th of April, 2019, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. All right, so let me get my 2 cents in, and I'm going to tell you something. I love the dialogue. This is the first time in a group where we've had this kind of interaction, and I think that's what we need. I think your ability to tell me what where I am saying things that I'm assuming that you know. So Scott said something very nice to me the other day. Scott said, you know so much about this and you've internalized it. And he said, you're so far above most of us in what you know that it's hard for me to grasp some of the things you're talking about. And I thought about that because I don't think I'm an expert. I just think I'm a normal guy that used to teach physical education and, did some coaching and ran some businesses, building houses and whatever. So I don't think of myself like some of these guys out there with, 50,000 followers or whatever. I'm happy to get a few people come in there and listen to my ideas, and I'm thinking I can help you. So here's what I'm hearing. I said this morning, that we're going to use this idea of 82 to 83 as our support zone, correct? That I don't think we're going to break that. Now, so far, that's true. That may not hold true for the rest of the day, but so far, that's true. So that's my support zone. I also said, if you'll remember, and I think the market wants to try to migrate up towards this 91. And we're going to use that 91 to that other breakdown as our resistance. And that's up here. So without any other lines on the chart, but that idea, I said, I don't think we're going to get a directional move. I think we're going to get one of those choppy sessions. Part of that is because I just didn't see us doing any great ramp one way or the other ahead of news. So I was thinking range trade. And the first and foremost idea that I'm thinking of is if we get a news bar, we got to assume that's the range that we're going to trade until proven otherwise. And so far, we've made some lower lows, but we really haven't spent any time here under that 84. And we'd said that was a breakout zone that was being retested. So we know in terms of a pattern, without any spaghetti on the chart or any other levels, we just know these facts intuitively if we've watched the market for a while. So those are important ideas. We also see things like tails form and jump up here, but still not taking out the highs. So the pattern in my mind right now is lower highs, but still no damage done against the shorts over here. And we're kind of neutral. I also said that we have a magnet here in that 87 to 86 and a half area. Okay, that's my work, and I'm saying that probably this is the neighborhood that the market is going to want to use as a pivot. And that's just based on a couple of key ideas. So above this, it's trying to push. We know that this is the flipper at 91 on the predictive model. And we know that anybody wants short side, the more you start to short lower highs, at one point they get you because you're shorting too low. So the best odds is the half gap trade. And if you did nothing other than take a trade like this at the open, remember when I said I think the open is going to be like 89, say to 84, I just picked the 5-point range. I said, let's just think of that as a potential range now. You got about a point under it, you got about a point below it. It's still that same basic range with a little kicker on top and a little kicker below, but it's basically doing that box. In the middle of that box is back in here at that 86 and a half to 87. So that's the way my mind works and the way I see it. And then all the other charts can give us meaning for bigger moves. But we're still in that first box that I've selected and said, you know what, we're just going to range trade. And if you want to buy, you're better off buying down here. You're better off shorting if you want to short closer to the top. In the middle is where everybody gets chopped up guessing. So that's part of today's problem with the numbers. But more importantly are things like 1,000 tick chart. You know, where in have you heard me say that I'm using 1,000-point tick chart? You know, you're reinventing the wheel. I'm here to help teach you some of the things that I've learned, but you have to take my work and make it your own. That's one of the best things that Scott said. That this is not about me. It's about taking my ideas, adding them to your work, and then saying, okay, so that helps me. Let's look at one or two other charts, and I'm going to keep this fairly short, but one or two other charts. Okay, now here is our weekly. And we can see that we know that 40% of the time is spent in the pipe. And that pipe is from 86 to 91 and a half. And that was my original rotation. I said, all right, let's just think about the pipe. Okay, this I'm trying to show was a breakout. 1, 2, third time through and up and runs into resistance and it comes back. News bar. But we can't sink down here. We can't get back into this level. So now we know already that this was support, this was fighting, and this is the resistance box. But now we can say, all right, that's still resistance. This evidently is our fighting box at the present moment, not 10 minutes from now, but right now. This is our support box. I'm trying to give structure and I'm trying to give meaning. And there are other things that I know that you don't know because I've studied the system. And I know things like this 80 are very important in our system. This is one of our pivots right here. So I know that. And I'm saying, okay, you gotta kill 80. And so this range, a 4-point range, like 78 to 82, basically is saying, all right, this 80 is an important idea right now, especially in the context of a pullback here into like a 20-point range. So all the things we've talked about, there are reasons for them, and I can't expect you to know what I know. I can't expect you to internalize a system that I've built, but I can expect you to try to learn it and add it to what you do. And that's the point of following a guru blindly and just having someone throw out numbers. You won't trust it. You won't pull the trigger. And you're going to be confused until you get the why. And that's why we spend so much time teaching the why. So that when I'm gone, whether it's because I give up trading and go fishing or because a car hits me or whatever else, you have got some tools to work with. That's the whole point of this, rather than someone just making calls. That's the lazy man's way to trade, is having someone make the calls for you. I'm trying not only to tell you what I think, but why. And that's the important part of these dialogues is why are these things like target lines up here at 02? How did I get that target? And then 2-point risk and reward, that kind of an idea. How did I get the idea today that 91 is going to be an area that the boys will want to get to and the shorts need to defend? So that's part of trading, and showing you all this stuff is meaningless if you don't internalize it. If you don't say, aha, I get it. If you didn't get the idea down here when I said, there's another tick or two, but risk and reward is coming in, and don't get too cute there, and then the thing bounces. Now you're up here 5 points higher than just choosing to get that last tick. That's where traders get messed up, because they always want to get the last tick in the trade, and they don't consider this type of a range trade. So we still are stuck in this nasty 7-point range. We still have that 86.5 middle that I said was a magnet. And then eventually we'll break this range a bit and come back and do some other things. But this is certainly yesterday's low, support till broken, today's low, support until broken. All that's right down in here. And so far we've trapped the shorts who wanted another repeat of yesterday. And we've been migrating a little bit higher and holding on top of yesterday's close area. So this is very neutral. But the bottom line in this type of thinking, All of that stuff is important, and you cannot possibly, as a beginner, hold on to every bit of this information. But you can write your notes down, and you can say, okay, I'm going to add that to my bag of tricks. Then you put the complicated stuff in with the spaghetti lines and whatever. So that's my 2 cents for why I think traders fail is because you don't give it enough time. You expect to have me do a brain dump into you and the things that I can, because I've looked at so many charts and the things like this bar right here that tell me, whoa, be careful, guys. You can see that bar that was a statement that was made yesterday, right there. That bar, this angel, bang, out of here, get out of here. Trapped you, we're buying again, and we're out of here. And so far, we're still above that. That's why I think trading is hard, because you don't get those lessons and you don't internalize and you get confused just trying to trade. You don't even have to trade right now. You don't have to do anything. You should be listening to as I dialogue and write down your notes. I studied with a guy for over a year and a half. Gee, the guy was a great trader. You know what? I went back over, I wrote down everything the guy said. Everything. And I said, this guy is great. I want to learn from him. And he uses a system like we use. I've added some things he wasn't doing. He never even showed us charts, but I wrote it down. And then after hours, I'd studied it. Why did he say this? Why did he say that? You know? And then he tosses a bone here and there, but he was just making calls. And I didn't like trading off of his ideas because I didn't know what he's doing, but I could see he was accurate. So I said, it's worth studying. So if you think my calls are reasonable, then you got to get inside my mind and say, okay, why did he say that? Why did he say 91 is going to become a magnet before we're done? Why? And why is that going to be a resistance zone? And you got to go back and look at charts like this and the other things we've talked about and say, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. So here's unauctioned territory, RTH, and the market would love to hold on to yesterday's lows and get back up and do some testing up in here. This was a failure area here, right? And that turned into resistance. So that's an area today of importance on an RTH chart. So I look at so many different charts, and you've seen me. You see me do the same thing with, crude oil and euro and whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Just go look at the chart and say, okay, I get it. Here's the core area from yesterday. You got to break this area right here. So far, that's not been done. Market RTH is still holding on to yesterday's, the bottom of the pipe. And I said, I think 82 is an important support. That's based on the pipe. There's a reason I say things. Not just because I think this. I have reasons. A lot of it's intuition, but there's always, I'll go back and I'll dig and I'll say, that's it right there. Yes, that's it. Look at this bar. Here's that angel. Look at that bar. Bang. We're out of here. We're pushing. So don't overstay. Think about this, trying to get to the 91 to 92 before we're done. And if that's true, then you want to have this 82, 83 area hold. Let it come to you is one of the best ideas I can give you. Let it come to you. You want the 91s, 92s, you got to be willing to buy this 82, 83 area and use a stop back here about a point or so below it. That's old time trading. Let it come to you and then buy where you think support is. And if you've got a trailer and you want that to get there, you're going to have to suffer through all these little wiggles. And that's why a day like today is very hard, because you may get your target, but you may have to give up 5 points before you get there. That's trading. And that's why the hit and run approach in a day like today is a lot easier, because you only got a 7-point range. Come on. You get to that 8th or 9th point and they're going to again say, whoa, time out. That's the way it moves. So we're re-auctioning all this territory from yesterday right now that came down pretty hard, in the afternoon. Got it? Hope that helps. Hey, James, good to see you.